Whilst not wishing to glorify war, First in the Field seek to recreate life as it was experienced and endured by the soldiers of Wellington's army between the years of 1808 to 1814, when engaged against the French in Spain and Portugal. Essentially, they are a living history group which, by concentrating on camp and campaign life and by seeking to achieve the highest standards of authenticity, aim to educate as well as to entertain.
If you imagine at the time that Wellington was fighting Napoleon in Spain and Portugal, a huge retinue of people followed on behind the army. Sutlers or traders trying to sell their wares to the soldiers. The wives of soldiers and officers, their families, children, a whole ragbag of people would stagger along behind the army in what was collectively termed the baggage train. And amongst that baggage train would be held all the private property of the officers that they'd brought with them on campaign. In those days, officers had to buy all of their own equipment. They had to buy their own uniform, their weapons, their horses, their tentage, and every piece of equipment that they would need for their comfort on campaign. If you were a wealthy person, of course, then you could afford to buy the best equipment, have lots of carts and trucks to carry it with, and have staff to look after you. If you were a poor officer, then often you couldn't afford a horse, you marched with the men, and all your worldly goods were carried in a pack upon your back, just like the ordinary soldiers. But what you see here is a table set for an officer or a member of the gentry who's following the drum at the time of the Napoleonic Wars. And it's set for breakfast, and you can tell that by the type of cutlery and crockery that you see on the table.